Houston, we have broadcast. Welcome everyone to Tinker Tailor Solder Fry here on the mighty wow, that didn't come out. Mighty Loading Radio Live Video Entertainment Network. I'm Ian Horner, your host for today, and I am running solo, which is weird considering that
I'm here too, and so's Beej.
Okay, so we got Matt here in the command module, and we got Beej over in the service module. Michael Collinsing it up, which is my favorite cocktail. Is a Michael Collins.
A light beverage.
Yeah, you take you take a shaker.
Yeah.
You add 2 ounces of gin to it, I believe. So some ice. Add just a little bit of bitters to it. You shake it up real hard, and you throw it up in the air, and don't let it touch the moon.
Yeah.
Ladies, people of all ages, shapes, abilities, and genders, this is our project today. This is the Open DSKY DSKY. It's a replica of the Apollo flight controller that was used in the command and lunar module. And it works. It's fully functional.
Yeah, we got to the moon. It works.
Great, I love it.
It's not well. This is not just a not just a model. It is in fact a fully functioning replica of the flight controller. Now, the Apollo flight computer itself had a big ass piece of equipment that went along with it that was hidden underneath all things. This was just the interface, the DSKY for display and keyboard. They named things with two letters back in the day. But yeah, it's this was given to us by a very, very generous fan whose name slips my mind right now. So if you're in the stream, please let me know. But
it was at C2E2.
It was at C2E2.
Yeah.
And I feel really bad because this is a really cool kit. It was put together by by Kickstarter. You can buy your own at opendSKY.com and check them out there if you're interested in doing one of these things. But yeah, it's fully functional. You could use this. You could use this to navigate, to your next road trip, should you choose to. I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah. So we're going to start today by putting this together, and hopefully we'll have some fun, have some conversations while it happens. Maybe talk a bit about things. If you're wondering why I did this, it's because we're just at the tail end of the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon mission. I think it was just yesterday, would have been the 50th anniversary of the splashdown. So this is the closest TTSF we could do to that historic occasion. Things that I should mention in the chat, if anything. Roadhog asks if I'm watching the AGC restoration. I am not. Someone did try to tweet me at Adam Savage's replica, or at Adam Savage, that I'm doing this, and I'm pretty sure Adam Savage already has one of these by now, or if not, I mean, the man just finished a build of the Apollo 11 crew hatch, the egress hatch from the modules, so I think he's got it under control. Well, nothing else to say about that before we get into it, but a couple more pieces of business here, because I ran in here from work, getting off at 4:20. So got to get myself a drink, and that means it's time to, because I know you all care about what I'm drinking, bring out the Fieldhouse Strawberry Tart Saison, part of their Farmland series. I will buy anything that those crazy fox keepers have. And then we should probably talk about one of my favorite tools. Yeah, I carry multi-tool because people care about these things. I carry the Leatherman Skeletool CX with carbon fiber.
Skeletool?
Yeah, it's just small enough that it fits, wherever I'm taking it. Has the pliers that you need, because everyone needs pliers. Has the wire cutters, which are always handy. A single blade, which locks, which is very important for safety's sake. And it also has a screwdriver, which I like. And just one screwdriver, so you can have your 2 blades there, and then a second bit just in the side. So I keep my Phillips heads in there. And
It's really weird though. Whenever you use it, it forces you to sound a specific way.
yeah. Well, the important thing is it also has its own little lanyard clip, and that lanyard clip works perfectly as a bottle opener, which has the best feature, the ability to grip the bottle cap so you don't lose it.
Why do not all bottle cap opener things do that? That seems really good, actually.
I have no idea, but I am very excited about this tart, sour, spicy, fruity strawberry saison.
Same.
And we'll put that together. Well, we'll put that in our bodies over the course of the show. I don't necessarily expect that we will actually have the entire kit done tonight. In fact,
But you will have the entire beer done tonight.
Oh, yes, yes. We can finish one project, and that's the project I'll choose to finish. So, pulled up the manual. If you want to play along at home, you can read the same assembly manual that I'm working off of on the Open DSKY site. I don't like saying DSKY because it's
Why? It's a display keyboard. Right?
Aha! I was correct. I know who gave this to me, and I'm so happy that I wrote it down in a place where I would only find it when I'm just working on it right now. And you just said it in the chat, Anonymous List. Thank you so much for giving this to us. I'm really excited to put this together, and yeah, we're gonna do that. Have fun at work, but catch us on the VOD, and maybe you can catch us on the next one when we continue on with it. Okay, super excited. Let's see here. So, we got the brains of the operation here. This is what appears to be this is a teensy, if I recall. I think. Yes, yes it is. And ooh, good. We've got our bill of materials. Boop, boop, boop. So let's see here. Let's have a look at some of the other things and pull out before we start counting parts, because that's the important thing to do. Big old bag of parts. The 3D printed enclosure, which requires, dang, a pretty sizable 3D bed should you want to use that. Actually, you know what? I can put this. I'm just going to pull everything out of the box because we don't need that right now. Ooh, wow. Very, very Chinese labeled Duracells. Some great kanji on there. Bags of resistors and stuff. Ooh, this is interesting. I don't know what you... Oh, you appear to be a noisemaker of some sort. And these are the... this is kind of the special bit of this setup, are the green 7-segment displays. And these are pretty difficult to deal with, because they require, if I recall, a lot more voltage than other things. What? I've got information here on the list.
I assume it's enough voltage that the Duracells that you have will give you enough power.
Oh yes, yes. We'll be able to get the required power on these 7-segment 5101 AGGs.
Ian,
21 of them. Yeah.
did we tweet?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I do that while we're still on thing. But yeah, if you scroll back, you'll see a nice picture of it. And the wrench emoji, because we're assembling. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, we need to check our parts to make sure that we've got everything, because I've run into that problem once before.
Only once?
Okay, so item number 1 on the thing, keychain. It is made from printed circuit board, and it has the Open DSKY logo on it, and it's kind of cool. Check. Next, number 1 is PCB version 01E with NeoPixels. If this is what I think it is, then I am in for happiness.
Is that 3D printed?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
It's a rather, as I was mentioning, it's a large piece of 3D print, because Well, not because. You'd require a pretty sizable 3D printer to print this, because that's a heck of a size. You need a really good build platform for that.
Chonky boy.
Yeah. And then we've got more of the case, which goes there and there. Information. Please note that with all 3D printed components, it is common for some sanding and or razor shaving may be required for a perfect fit. The bezel, or bezel, is meant to pressure fit inside the top plate, so avoid excess trimming of either until you've confirmed the fit. We have 3D printed every component ourselves, made sure they meet our specifications. Once your PCB isn't soldered, please make sure to flush cut all protruding pins on the top side to ensure proper fit with the top plate and bezel. Also, please note that the top plate is meant to fit very tightly around your PCB, but may still require you to sand some top plate internal sides.
I'm surprised that they didn't opt to go with injection molding for this, but I guess they're not producing a ton of kits.
Yeah, injection molding is super expensive. Well, the printing itself, easy to cheap, but getting the tooling done up is super expensive. This, I think there's multiple pieces in this in and of itself too.
Vacuum forming.
Ooh, vacuum forming.
They could have done that. That could have been interesting.
I mean, this is more complicated than I'd like to try to vacuum form. It's a complex bit, but I'm very glad to see this. So this is the board, and if I read the instruction manual, looks like either this is a service that you would have had to pay extra for, or something they've stopped doing, because there's some neopixels on here. These are flush mount LEDs, and they are not easy to. They would not have been easy to solder in, because they're. Have you got a zooming lens on there, Matt?
To an extent.
What about the closed cam? Could we does the closed cam have the tighter?
It looks like neither of our lenses have the zoomable lens.
Let's get the big lens then. Hang on
Yeah.
a second.
Meanwhile, I will continue to unpack things here. Oh, this is...
Yeah.
Here's our hefty lens. Yeah, whichever side you want.
I'm going to put that right there, just so we're both aware.
That is just subtly strawberry. The saison really goes nicely with the strawberry flavor, because you have that sort of raw straw flavor that a strawberry has.
That's not really what I would consider a strawberry to taste like.
Well, people focus on the sweetness of strawberries a little bit too much, whereas what makes a strawberry is not the sweetness, but the underflavors. And this beer really highlights the underflavors of those strawberries. Right. Laserbeak, yeah, 3D printers or 3D prints, if they go bad, the material can be recycled. Not a lot of people do, because as CodeMage says, it takes special tools at some point. Though I have seen some interesting builds on Hackaday of people who just make machines that just grind up old plastic and don't even bother making it into new filament. They just feed that grind up plastic directly into the extruders. So yeah. Okay, we're back to good print here. Let me bring that up. So that would not be fun to have soldered those on. To
the white squares specifically.
To approximate surface mounting, because I believe the instructions suggested that you laid on a tiny bead of solder at each corner. So each of these LEDs has 4 points, and they suggest that you just solder one in to get it tacked on, sort of a tack weld, and then get the other 4 in there. So it's a difficult. It would have been difficult, but it's not, and I'm happy about that. Bubble wrap. Ooh! We've got the printed from what appear to be circuit board bits, and a 3D printed plug for the side of the thing. But these are the keys for the bezel. see if we can figure out how that comes apart such that I can insert. Oh, no, they just insert thusly. Like that.
Oh, you're already halfway done.
Yep. Now, I can't remember if these light up or not, but I'm not going to find out until later. Let's put those back in the bag so you don't lose them.
And you can draw whatever you want on those, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's mine now, Dave. Okay, screwdriver, tooling, and, ooh, the all-important hex key. The mystery device, which, just based on the things that I'm looking at here, I'm going to think that that is a... That's not the on-off switch. That's probably the DF Player Mini, I'm guessing. Ooh, 3D printed box for batteries. This is an interesting build system they got here. I'm impressed. Well-designed case. And then here is our tiny bag of electronic parts. Oh, and I am. This is the difference between a well put together electronics kit and a bargain basement from include producing country here. All the components are labeled as to what they are, so you don't have to end up going through and hunting if you're not sure what your what resistor you're looking for. You don't have to look up the codes every time if you're like me and don't remember the codes automatically. Okay, so we got a bunch of ohmed resistors in there. What's in this bag here? Hey! We got a tiny piece of Skylab. I'm assuming that this is the GPS module and not actually just a tiny piece of the Skylab American Space Station. What other nifty bits do we have in here? This is a... Ooh, this appears to be a... well, it's got a battery on it, so I'm going to say that that's probably a clock? A real-time clock of some sort? What do we got here? ZS0420. Who knows?
Is it not labeled on the parts list?
It is, well, there are a number of things on this parts list that are labeled with just a series of letters and numbers, a product code, if you will. This in here, we've got, ooh, okay, this is the, this is the SD card reader. Nice of them to really spring for a good size, SD card. 256 megabytes. Megabytes, not gigabytes. Remember, we're going to the moon. We don't need a lot of space.
That's half of my Windows 95.
God, Windows 95. So many floppies. This appears to be, I don't know. What's the inputs and outputs on it? Not sure. We'll find out later. This is also operates on... Oh, this is just a voltage adjuster. Takes 3 volt, 3 amp in and sends 5 volts out. Cool. Power switch, wire connector, some other thing, and then we've got these LED boutons, which I'm guessing will probably end up underneath the keys. Okay, I think everything seems to be in order. Let's begin up. So, read through the following instructions once completely before starting the assembly. Solder all 20 ohm resistors, 470 ohm resistors. We might as well lay our what do you call them? Our parts out in order of assembly. Skylabs 2 to 4 would have had a DSKY on board. Interesting. I was not aware of that, Mercado. I know that in my research today that they apparently used a few of these as, in the F8 as a proof of concept for fly-by-wire systems, and were basically used in testing fly-by-wire to eventually move into the space shuttle. Okay, we need our 1K resistors, and after that, we've got just a metric butt ton of those. And then we've got our 10K resistors. That's good to have as well. Then our 100K resistors. And then finally, 15 ohm resistors. 15 ohm. Oh, solder the single 15 ohm resistor. And then 100 ohm resistors. Okay. And then we're going to do the NeoPixels, which has blessedly already been done. Then we will need our female pins. Where are our female pin slots for the Arduino Nano? Nano! Highly recommend you check out Nichijou if you haven't already. So everything on here, chip-wise, is for our good friend, the chips. So maybe there were some changes made to the assembly.
Good or bad changes?
Good changes. Well, just changes.
Just a lot of changes.
Change and face the change. Okay, so maybe they. Well, you know what? Let's check the parts list here.
I thought we already did that.
I'm gonna check it again.
We're gonna do Santa on this parts list.
Did you want to check things off, or?
You know what? I think that might be a good use of our time.
Yeah.
I think it is. Oh, no. If I'm going to check things off, I have my own tools.
Fine.
That sounded so good.
That actually did, though.
Great.
On the headphones, it was so good.
Rip headphone users' pants. Bob the Ninja Goldfish, we are putting together an OpenDSKY Apollo flight controller replica. The pen, Itameshi, is the pen type A from CW&T, which search CW&T if you're looking for it. Though I have made a change with the ink inside because I don't like what they come with.
I thought Type A was like a Gundam thing, or?
Don't derail the stream any further, Matt. I'm begging you.
Type A is a tennis thing. Oh God!
Don't get him onto the pen thing. Just
yeah. Okay. We got the keychain. Yes. We got the PCB with NeoPixels. Yes. Arduino Nano. I had that here. Perfect. USB cable. Check. 116 ohm speaker. Hey, that's probably what this is. Let's double check the end piece. 16 ohms. Perfect. Check. 6 AA battery holder. Check. Batteries.
Definitely have the batteries.
Check. Wire terminal. I believe that is this blue piece here, because that's the only wires that we're going to be dealing with, so that looks like a wire terminal. So we'll check that off. VARTC DS3231. That's the real-time clock then, which is, are you my friend?
Are you asking me or Beej?
I'm asking the real-time clock.
Oh, so Beej.
Yeah. Beej is our real-time clock.
tick tick, motherfucker.
Time is now for you to die. It also comes with the battery pre-installed, because otherwise time would stop and Ultraman could never rise again. IMU MPU 6050. That one's going to be a harder one to figure out.
Ian, did you back that pin at its full price, or did you get an early bird?
The pin?
Pen type A.
Oh, the pen type A? I think I kickstarted it.
Yeah. Did
is
you
available.
back it at its full price? Do you know what its full price is now?
No. What is-
$160.
Jesus Christ.
So no, you didn't do it
didn't.
at that
Probably
price.
not. But I can understand why.
Oh, yeah.
Well, going through the Kickstarter, they had a real problem. This was one of their first things that they wanted to produce, and they wanted to make a pen that could do this. Very tight tolerances.
Let's get that on the close. Because it's so satisfying. Hang on a second.
I'll pull that out again.
Close cam. All right. Sorry. Let's get that on the roaming cam.
So yeah, very tight tolerances in terms of the machining. And they found that while they were able to get product samples from China that were able to do that with that level of precision, they couldn't get
Consistency.
they couldn't get enough consistency without supervision, and they couldn't go in and supervise the entire production. So they had to move production to America, and that drove the cost up significantly. So, hey, you get what you pay for sometimes. Let's see here. Skylab, SKM53 GPS.
Definitely
Check.
got that.
Yeah. I'm going to try and move things over so that I know when I've moved them, or when I've checked them off. That's where we're going to do the... I'll move over the wire terminal too while I do that then. So that way I know for certain. Because I do want to do this justice, let's be honest. So many of these things.
Good things.
4R7. What is a 4R7? That's 3D printed. Okay. Power basic. Okay. So I'm not sure what this is, but we'll find out in a second once we do a process of elimination on a few things.
Good start.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of it. DF Player Mini. Ah, that's what this is. This is an MP3 player. MP3-TF-16P.
And then you have a microphone that plays the sound.
Well, we've got the tiny speaker.
The speaker. I swear I saw on the outside of the box this includes MP3s, and I'm like, no.
Of what? What? Watch it be an MP3 rip of that one U2 album they put on everyone's phone.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be the Voyager record.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Or just the Bayonetta version of Fly Me to the Moon.
Can't afford that on this show. If Netflix can't afford it, neither can we. Yeah, that's right, Netflix. I'm throwing shade on your Evangelion. What you gonna do about it?
Nothing. They're too big to care.
Netflix CEO ass kicking, an Ian Horner exclusive.
Aw, you're not going to let me get in on that too?
Okay, we've got our on-off switch. That goes over there as well. I think that this big, fat, gentle friend on the end here is probably our, I'm guessing that's the buck down, or the buck step down, rather. So we can click that there, check that off. These Maxim chips, the Max 7219CN. 4 of them, check. And 4 sockets, check. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Is the 40 feet? Aha! Found you. They'd hidden along the top edge of the 7-segment displays the row of the 40 female pins, and I couldn't see it because of the glare. Okay, this is good. This is important. Let's see here. So we got this bit and that bit, and I don't know what they are. And one of them, there should be a read relay somewhere as well.
Is it maybe somewhere in the packaging for that thing that was hiding all the
Well,
female
I'm just
things?
looking at now the things that I don't know what they are, and there are 3 of them. So I'm going to assume that I've got, just based on knowing what things are and process of elimination, if I have 3 things that I don't know what they are and 3 things unchecked in that section, I'm going to call those checked. 10 nano capacitors. Nano. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Finish it.
12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh, that is unsatisfying. Damn it.
Oh! This is a good kit.
Oh, good.
Quantity needed, 10. Basic, shipped, 11. Check.
Good kit.
15 ohms resistors. This would be 1K, 10K. Wow, where are those resistors?
Which ones are you looking for?
The 15
You,
ohm.
you did show them, I'm sure.
Yeah, oh, there they are. Yeah, there's,
Yeah.
because we need the 1, and there's only 1. 100 ohms resistors are singular. Yep, good. 2470 ohm resistors.
It's 470, yeah.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 is the number. 20 is correct. Okay, next up is the 1K resistors. Let's count those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 3 is correct.
Would you say that this is one of the best kits you've gotten so far?
It most definitely is. This is
That good shit?
it's worlds above the oscilloscope kit I put together, and then which died thanks to an errant screw. 4 10K resistors and 3 100K resistors. NeoPixels pre-soldered 18. I mean, are all 18 on the board? Let's double check. Answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 9 is 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is the number that is NeoPixels. Number of push button segments, 12 by 12 millimeters. We need a total amount of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. That is the correct shipped amount. 7-segment displays, we need 21 of those. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, and 3 is 7 times 3 is 21, which is the correct amount of 7-segment displays, plus the 3 special displays, which are custom made, that just have the plus minus divide options on them, because those are important. 3D printed bezel, bezel. I mean,
You have several of them.
bezel. Okay, top. Yes. Mid-range. Yes. Jungle. Yes.
Well, that's what that's called.
Yeah, well, I was so confused when at the PAX where they were giving away the League of Legends lanyards. It was top, bottom, jungle. And I'm like, what do you do if you're a jungle?
You just don't wash.
I guess. Battery door and USB cap, both included. Here is the... Where did I put that cap? I did check it off, which means it's around here somewhere.
Like, which cap are you looking for?
There it is. Yep, the cap.
Okay, now...
I'm going to throw that in the USB hole,
Yeah.
just so we know where it is.
You can remove it afterwards, right?
Yeah, they're meant to be removable, I believe.
Oh, good.
You know what? We'll just keep it over here with the other 3D printed stuff. Keep all that together. Laser cut button caps, 19 of them. Let's count them out.
In French.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all that makes sense in French. 11, 12,
13, 14.
15, 16, 17, 18. GQ. And yes, I am doing a joke with the bezel. Okay, let's put this stuff away here. Laser color. Wait, there's no comma in there because it just tells me laser color printed window. So is it printed with laser colors?
Which ones?
Or is it color printed? That said, I think that's what these are.
You had a really good opportunity for 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20
These nuts. Damn. You're right. You're right. Okay, we got a laser color printed window, laser cut clear window. So I guess we have to make a choice at some point whether or not we want green lines or nothing on our window.
And the time to make that choice is right now.
Oh,
What do you choose?
absolutely. I mean, I like the green. Let's put those back in there for now, so we know where it is when it comes time for the moment of truth. Okay, laser cut printed window, check. Laser cut clear window, check. 17 socket head screws.
In Japanese.
Oh, ippon, nippon,
Oh, wow.
sambo, yoppon, go. Yeah, I don't remember my pawn counting that well. I'm pretty sure this is the pawn counting because they're long and thin. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 17, 19. Let's double check that because that seems off by a bit. 2, 4, 6, 8, 8. Okay, I need to do a better job of separating these out. Try again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, which is one less than we're supposed to have.
Is that 20 right there in your hand?
No, this is a different type of screw.
Really?
But we only need 17, but they say they shipped 20. So we're off by 1 from what we should have, but we only need 17 of them, which is great. Socket head screw with nut. That's this one.
Straight nut.
Yeah. 7 brass screws. We got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. ships with 8, so I guess we get 1 extra brass screw than we were supposed to get. And finally, 1 Allen key. So I can unlock Allen. We have all the parts necessary, and that only took us about 40 minutes. All right, let's stick these back in, because we're not going to need these for a while. We might as well keep them around. How's everyone?
Definitely don't throw them away.
Yeah. Yes, please don't throw anything away.
Reduce, reuse, and recycle instead of throwing away.
At least now you won't be taken by surprise.
And now I know where the now I know where all the parts are too.
You've seen them with your bare eyes.
Yes, I've seen everything.
Oh, Christ. Mercano mentions customer support, and I'm just kind of like, right, I have 2 customer support places I have to go contact and look up and deal with shit.
Good luck.
Because you just really want to feel supported right now? Is that why?
There's just so much.
Like it's nice when companies are good at support and are generous with it. Like I want to call out Black Magic again.
Yeah.
For being really good with with support with me. Like they went the extra mile in getting my card back online, and even when another card did a dumb thing and didn't work for a while, they were willing to. They didn't make me go through the process of starting at the bottom again and making a new number. And these cards are generations out of date.
Yeah,
and they were just willing to, like, yeah, I'll answer an email question for you. I'll take the 5 minutes to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You make somebody's day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and given, like, it's funny too, because it's like, given the amount of Black Magic stuff we just use here, that it's kind of like, you never know when someone in your personal, like, who's just like, I'm having a problem with my Black Magic card, and it's like, sure. Also, I happen to work at a place that uses a fair bit of your equipment, and if you make a bad impression with me, I might be like, their support when I contacted them was kind of shitty, right? And be like, oh, we should switch to somebody else in the future then.
Amusingly, though, what was fun was the last time I went onto the support page. They do that thing at Black Magic where they throw up, they throw up the pictures of their staff and their title underneath. They're like, that's the person I've been dealing with.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it was nice to be able to put a face to a name. I decided not to tell them that I saw that because that would be creepy. And don't be creepy. All right, let's continue on going through the instructions. Cut the 2 female pin connectors and solder them to the Arduino Nano location of the back of the PCB. Carefully solder all 18 surface mount NeoPixels. Fuck that. 10. Cut a strip of 4 female pins and solder to the buck converter location. Then insert the Nano and the buck converter now if you want to test the RGB LEDs using strand test. I know note, current buck converters require you to jump the 5 volt underneath. So I think that's probably what we're going to want to do is get those in there so that we can start testing the NeoPixels.
Mm-hmm.
So that we don't completely F everything. Oh, which means we're going to need to do a whole lot of resistors. Well, let's keep reading then. After that, we're going to flush cut both of our black spacers. Both black spacers under each of the 19 lighted push buttons to allow the push buttons to fully rest on the PCB. Aha! So we're cutting off the little plastic nubbins. Let's get that on camera there. Once we've done that, we'll insert and solder all 13 lighted push buttons, making sure the red dots cathode are on the left side. Once all buttons are inserted, power up the Arduino Nano via its USB port and test all 19 LED buttons. So if you can see, yeah, there we go. Right there. Oh, there we go. That's the plastic nubbin that we're going to chop off on these. And the red side, whoop, whoop, whoop. Nope, one more side. There we go. That's the cathode side. Cool. Once we've done that, solder all 4 Maxim sockets. Make sure to respect orientation. That's just generally good advice in life anyway.
Seconded.
Prepare the IMU by soldering his male... Okay, man, Manuel, I was going to call you out for gendering the IMU, but then you mentioned that it's using male pins, so I don't know. Is that not okay? I would really like the electronics industry to standardize too on something other than male and female for port.
Just in out, like.
Yeah, master and slave.
Oh yeah, yes, that's
Let's bring that back.
the female master.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
Prepare the line leveler by soldering his male pin. That's so weird, but it's grammatically correct. I don't know how to feel. Cut and solder the female pins to receive the IMU, the VARTC, and the line leveler. Solder all 10 caps, respecting polarity. Again, good advice in life. Always respect someone's polarity. The longer pin is positive. Solder the read relay, making sure to respect orientation. Solder the wire terminal. Solder all 21 segments, making sure the dots, decimal point, are at the bottom right. Then the Geotronics segments. For Maxim chips. Insert the IMU, RTC, Buck, Arduino Nano, and the line leveler. Solder the speaker, MP3 SD card player. Make sure they respect orientation and keeping as high up on the PCB because the GPS on the other side will need to be flush with the PCB to fit properly. Solder the GPS after applying a thin layer of electrical tape underneath to prevent potential shortening of pins. Also good advice, but really just when you're soldering. Connect 9-volt battery pack. 9-volt battery pack. Oh yeah, no, 9-volt battery pack, not 9-volt battery. And test completed electronics assembly. Congratulations, you are done the electronics assembly. Then the rest of the assembly will happen. But not until we do a lot of work. Okay. Let's start off with the resistors. I was going to suggest...
Did you want to take a break?
You know what? Yes. Let's take a break here, and we'll be back with more assembly after this. Don't go away.
Hang on. I have to remember which one's the mute button. I found it.
Welcome back to Tinker Tailor Solder Fry, the mighty Let's Try program here on Loading Ready Runs Video Entertainment Network. My name is Ian Horn, and joining me today are Matt and Beej in their roles on camera and tech, respectively.
I'm eating celery.
And what we are doing together is assembling this open DSKY Apollo guidance computer replica. I saw some people talking about the guidance computers in the chat during break, and someone was mentioning that there's a YouTube video being passed around of some people doing some tech support and refurbishment on a 50-year-old original lunar computer. Did you know, friends in the room, that the computers themselves were encased in resin?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It means that vibration isn't going to be a problem.
Wait, like once they were put together, they basically just dumped hot resin in and just let them solidify.
They got soldered up, and then they said, let's just solidify the whole thing.
That seems okay. I guess if you have that much extra thrust to deal with already, that you're just like, we got mountains of torque in the back of this thing. We can just like dump in a few extra 100 pounds.
We got horses in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just dump a whole bunch of resin in case. Why not just encase the astronauts in resin too?
Yeah, I'm sure they tried to think of a way to do that. There is enough recap questions for the beer. The beer tonight is the Strawberry Tart Saison Farmland series by Fieldhouse Brewing.
Please capture that if you can, and if we can put in the @drink command, that might actually help if people are asking in the future.
I'll just put that up here so eagle-eyed viewers can fix that up. But Fieldhouse may be my favorite brewery currently. I will put anything that they make with their tiny fox in my mouth. Okay, we are at the stage now where we are going to be soldering all 20 470 ohm resistors, which is a lot of resistors. So let's break them out.
I would think that a spacecraft would want the least amount of resistance possible.
I mean, without with a lack of atmosphere, resistance is usually
You know?
minimal. Where
It's a perfect match of sweet astringent.
I'm trying to think of the best way to do this.
With your hands?
Yes, soldering with my hands is definitely the best way to solder. You want to rub your hands together as fast as you can until you get the solder melted, and then just kind of flick it into place with your fingertips. Pick it up with a...
Oh, not the toothbrush way where you're flicking the bristles on the toothbrush?
Oh, the bristles off the brush. That's if you're blowing your solder off the end of your brush, that's a good way to do the manga stars.
Mm.
Wow.
I'm so happy I get to do this show with my friends.
Aw, we're friends.
It's true. Okay. Right, soldered on the back side. Yeah, that's the crib side. Okay. I want to make sure that I've got the correct side up for this.
Do
And
they
yes.
label them?
Actually, wow. This is a great board because every resistor is labeled on the back. In fact, let's have a look there. You can see if we can get some focus there. Yeah, 470. That's where the 470 goes, and up there, I think, is where the 1K resistors go. So that makes it easy. And they go in the back here like this because the other side's going to have those buttons that need to be flush mounted as flushly as possible. So, let's start by, what's the best way to, can I just bend them straight? And then slot them in that way? Time will tell. It's not going to be much time. Through hole. Through hole is successful. Okay. So that'll be fine. And then we'll just bend those to the sides on the other side of the board to hold them in place. That'll hold it in place until we get the soldering iron out. So, let's begin. Just sticking these through the hole. No anti-static mat because I'm a static denier. That we don't own one, and I regularly ground myself on things that are groundable.
You're a very grounded man.
Like that beer mug.
Mm-hmm. Beer mug's definitely grounded.
Yeah, you touched that like 6 or 7 times already.
Yeah, I'll do it again soon, too. Just watch me. These are the 470 ohm. Yes, they are. You know what I really should do one of these days is get myself or make myself a soldering clamp. Oh.
Do you not
Oh,
have
wait,
that
there we
spider
go.
thing or whatever?
The spider thing isn't exactly what I'm looking for right now.
Mm.
I'm just looking for something that'll allow me to...
Like that's not that four-handed thing.
Yeah, like it would be just something that would clamp to this that would hold the circuit board so I could, tilt it and hold it in different locations.
So like the trays that have the 4 articulating arms on the end.
That's exactly what we're thinking about.
Okay, cool. They have 4 clips on on every corner. So basically you're putting it on every arm has a clip, and you clip each end. And it's like, now I can rotate this thing.
And then you do.
Mm-hmm.
DM, you do that.
Holy shit!
I
was trying to process. What did he just say to me? Like, All right, yes, DM, I do that. Yes, right.
I am nothing if not a parrot for our own little internal memes.
God, he's so good though. Adam just gives us
Oh,
so much crazy shit
Yes,
to say.
yes.
We were discussing "jebaited" today as a thing, because it's wrestling terminology. I think
Okay,
originally.
Good. I hope so.
I think
'Cause
so. And we were just like how that has, because it's regular parlance just about everywhere, and we were saying how an AMD executive tweeted out "jebaited" in response to Nvidia posting their new cards and being like, well, here's our new card, which is not as powerful as the AMD's new card, but it is definitely price performance. It makes a better case. And then AMD was like,
Lol.
"jebaited," and it's like, what?
Yep. And then they reduced their price on all their cards.
You're an executive for a multi-million-dollar company, and you're just lol jebaited all over Twitter. That's very weird.
I mean, let's be honest. Given what the Nvidia CEO routinely wears, I don't think that there's much respect lost there on either side.
I don't know what he wears. What does he wear, Ian?
He's one of those guys. He's not a t-shirt a t-shirt blazer guy.
Does he have an Ahegao shirt?
Wow. Okay, first CEO who does that.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for Hayao Miyazaki to come out for the next.
It just, oh my god, for the next preview, he's like, "I was told to wear this shirt. It was a mistake."
I'm not a big fan. Not much of a fan, but clothing was a mistake. No, the CEO of Nvidia, he likes to wear like Matrix style leather jackets and,
really?
and turtlenecks.
Oh.
And sunglasses, if I recall, during the last keynote he was in.
So just Matrix.
Yeah, he's basically he wants to be cyberpunk.
He's just cosplays Neo.
Yeah,
Okay.
essentially.
Or maybe Lawrence Fishburne. Morpheus is the character's name, for those of you who are not unsure if you're like not sure what we're talking about, because Matrix came out in 1999.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was actually. Wow. Weird to think about.
20-year anniversary.
I saw someone on Twitter recently that I would show up in my timeline, and I was like, "Oh, you seem like an interesting person. Let me go check out your bio." Like, I was born in August 1998. I'm like,
You can't be that interesting.
that is when I graduated from high school.
So they're 8 years older than I am. Or younger, rather.
Okay. Thinking, how young are you?
I'm 5 years old. I am nearly a baby, but not quite a full baby.
Are you one of those people that has the shortened lifespans, like the not Neelix, the other one, Kess?
I hope not. I don't know.
Ooh,
We'll have to see.
Oh, wow, Master Gunner, that is interesting if true. Apparently the NVIDIA and AMD CEOs are second cousins or something.
That's fantastic
That-
if that's true.
Wow.
This is a very Adidas situation.
Yeah.
Which one of them is the Puma?
Definitely the AMD CEO. Someone scuffed your Pumas. So, I didn't know this, but apparently stepping on basketball shoes is a good way to break them in. Or so tells me Slam Dunk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, walking in them or on them, I guess.
Well, no, I mean, like, you know, you go to your practice and all your teammates just, like, stamp on your foot while you're wearing your shoes.
That,
Good luck. You know, that might just be bullshit.
yeah, that sounds like a lie they tell you so that they get away with it,
Yeah.
you know?
I love how you set that up, though. That's so good. Thank you for that.
What can we say to this person so that we can just dunk on them and they'll just take it?
Yeah.
But we do need to bring back the hands in pants standoff. The Slam Dunk. Hey, Jamel, good time to show up. Yeah, so fun fact, the Apollo guidance computer had about as much processing power to it as a Commodore 64 or an Apple II.
Very on brand then.
Yeah, but they were very, how do we put this?
Hardened?
They were hardened. Like they used. How many of you kids out there are familiar with rope core memory?
Oh, Jesus.
Is it braided? Like, is that why they call it that?
Yes, actually. It's literally wires that are loomed and looped through ferrite rings in certain orders. So if you go through, I think that counts as a 1. If you are basically programming in binary by weaving cable.
Physical programming.
Yeah, and that was how these machines were initially programmed.
Wow, that seems very meticulous.
As Mercado points out, that's where we get the term core dump.
Oh, you dropped it.
Yep. Soon we'll have all of these in place. You know, I'm kind of tempted to actually solder these from the top side. I don't know if that would be a bad idea, but...
When have you ever had a bad idea on the show?
Exactly, right?
What does the manual tell you to do?
The manual tells me to shut the hell up. No, the manual doesn't mention which side. But I'm just going to have a look at the other side. The reason being is that we want everything to be nice and flush on the other side. And it looks to me like they... Okay, now there's plenty of space for me to not worry about that. Yes! There's the core memory. Or an example of core memory.
Very highlighter aesthetic.
It really highlights to me how weird and wonderful computers can be. It's
Like, we have kind of settled on a lot of things in modern computing, right? Like, there's a lot of... And so much is happening the naked eye can't perceive.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that when you show somebody a circuit board from 20 years ago or show somebody a circuit board from now, it's like, okay. They're just, even like 30 or 40 years ago, it's still like, like they all kind of integrated circuits and everything just all start to look similar to each other.
But it's interesting you bring that up over time too. Like if you look at a Apple II board, just because of the person that was, you can kind of piece together how the thing works. But we're now at the stage where we are just shoving so much functionality onto these boards that they're nigh impossible to comprehend. But yeah, something like rope memory or core memory, those are just wonderful physical representation. Like they're not representations. That is the machine. That is the computer.
They're a representation of themselves.
Ooh. Now we're getting into some talking simulator topics. Okay. And then we had 2 left, if I recall. Which means we're now soldered in.
I mean, if you want to call that soldered in.
Well, I mean, we're now roughed in. So now comes the solder portion. Let's get this. I think this is an 18-watt power supply. 18 watt. There we go. Nope, 18. Okay. Begin the heating. Well, now you tell me you're a 24 watt.
Have you at least updated the...
Firmware?
The firmware
Yeah.
must... No, that's right. I didn't in between the in between the two of them.
Mm.
I played with Apple II boards a while back in my last year of, or no, actually it was my first year of university because my old high school was getting rid of all of their Apple IIs, and I really should have saved more of them than I did. I think we grabbed 4 or 5, and one of them I tried circuit bending to the extent where I would just like put the board down, hook up a speaker and a monitor, take my Swiss Army knife and rake my knife blade through one of the expansion slots
Why?
just to see what kind of noises I could make.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Sounds like something a high schooler would do.
yes. What do you guys think? Should I flux this? Or should I? Well, let's try one. Let's see how they, let's see some non-flux, and then we'll see how it goes. All right. Oh, that's right. Yes, Shadowhawk. You're bringing up the Bitcoin information on how fast an Apollo guidance computer can process bitcoins. That was one of the things the people who restored the machine did, was have it mine Bitcoin for fun.
Really?
Yep. I don't think we're going to need any, not for this at least. Flux is unnecessary. That's a good connection. Good solid.
So that was a good solder you did?
Yep.
Oh, good.
Let's keep on going. Keep on trucking.
So when you solder,
Mm-hmm.
is it generally best practice to touch near, like, you're touching near the end of the lead, or is it just you need to get it because you're supposed to touch the wire and let the solder melt around the wire?
Right, so what I'm doing here is actually, if we can get even closer zoom, maybe let's
That's ambitious.
aim for this area here. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, so what I'm doing, that's good, is I am touching the pad and the wire together, and then just adding some solder and letting it flow in. I'm doing my best not to inhale that delicious, delicious lead smoke. Flux is mostly needed for SMD components or when soldering lead-free tin on old PCBs. I find I use solder just when I want to engage big cheats mode, because it does make the whole process a lot easier.
Using flux, you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, did I say using solder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I use solder whenever I need soldering, because that's how you solder. Welcome to...
Tautology Club?
Yeah, I was trying to think of a good name for a tautology stream.
The stream. The brook. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of connections. This is one of those times when you probably do want a...
Background music?
No, not background music. A fume vent of some sort.
You tell me this now, after I've agreed to do this job tonight.
Oh, you'll be fine. You're well out of the danger zone where you are.
Do you want, like... No, I guess you can't put a medical mask on.
No, I could, but that's not going to do much. Like, the key is to... You'll see me blowing out when I'm done a joint, and that's not to cool the solder. That's just a mind hack to remember: don't inhale the solder fumes, because they are strangely delicious.
It is kind of a cruel joke that lead is sweet on the tongue.
And the nose, and it'll burn your sinuses.
Among other things.
In the last big soldering project I did, I think I actually had a bloody nose for a couple. Well, not like a full bloody nose, like coming out. I mean, it was just I would blow my nose a little too hard, and it would, oh, there's some blood in there. Whoops.
Oh, is that a chunk of solder in there too?
Duh, thankfully not. But take care of yourself, kids.
I have some stone beer steins that I really enjoy drinking out of, but they're also like, I have no idea how they were glazed because they were. My understanding is they were purchased as souvenirs from places where my grandparents had visited, and it only occurred to me about 15 years after I'd been drinking into them that maybe these were glazed with something containing lead, and maybe that's why I'm stupid. And I thought about it a little longer, and I'm like, I might just be stupid because I'm getting old.
Yeah,
That's a lot better explanation, I think.
but boy, that one hurts a lot more.
It does. It hurts a lot more. Like, God, I remember when I was smart. Those were the days.
I could pick up a new framework like that.
Is everyone okay with this level of Zoom, or would the chat prefer me to get a different shot, or maybe even come out a little more? Because Ian's got about another 10 of these, 15 of these to do. So,
Let us know.
yeah. If you want a shot of Ian doing this, ooh, you know what I could do?
Picture in picture.
Do it from the overhead, which isn't as nice, but
Yeah, thankfully.
Less shake that way, though.
a nice shot of the whole board as it sits.
Something I found out somewhat recently, and this was after I recovered from my bout with it, is that if you are depressed, it does damage to your memory.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. Wow. That sucks. Thanks for filling me in on that.
Yeah. Like, it actively does damage to your memory.
Like, does it remove memories? Does it make it more difficult to form memory?
I mean, like, this is kind of funny, I guess. I don't remember the details. It's probably retention.
Memory's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing about memory that makes sense physically.
Yeah.
And the more we find out about memory, the more just weird it is.
I mean, like, scientists still don't know why people sleep. The mind just kind of makes us do it.
Yeah, but at least that's something that we share with the animals.
Yeah.
Is this need to sleep.
Well, most animals.
Unless all the animals out there are just being assholes and just styling on us.
Shut your eyes. Shut your eyes. Shh.
Make them think that we're doing it. Oh, this is what you look like at night.
Oh, adorable. Thank you.
Yeah. What is it about sleeping pets that make you want to go over and touch them and pet them and inevitably wake them up?
Yeah.
Vulnerability, I think.
It's the worst. It's the worst instinct in the world. I think people have. So they're like, oh, look at that cute cat who's sleeping. I'm gonna go pet it, and it's like, or don't leave it alone. It's sleeping.
Well, people just really, really want to listen to the cat activation noise.
I guess it's fair. I mean, but people do that to babies too, and I don't want to listen to the baby activation noise at all.
God, now I just want a cat that sounds like a starting up Macintosh. Ball.
Sony, the Aibo would still be around if whenever you pet it, it would make.
Jong.
Let's make it happen, geneticists.
Hold on, I need to hold down shift while my cat's starting up. It's got an extension conflict.
Oh no. Yeah, I think parents learn not to activate the baby once it's asleep after doing it once.
I mean, I think I need to be taught 0 times.
Yeah.
I've seen enough children.
I've seen the procedure done dozens of times.
Though my parents used to put a mirror under my nose because they would get frightened by the fact I would sleep so soundly.
You were a pleasant baby?
No, I wasn't. But
Oh.
just that was, I think, the reason. It's that whenever I was sleeping soundly, they're like, "Wait, maybe he's dead.
Uh-oh.
Maybe that's why we have a moment's break."
Yeah.
And then they test me like, "Oh, he's sleeping. Thank Christ. Enjoy it while we can."
I think my parents told me that I was nicer than my brother, my older brother, as a baby. Like, he wasn't super awful terrible, but
Right.
I was nicer than him.
All
The
right.
baby.
What about you, Ian?
I
What kind of baby are you?
was a parent. Well, I was a colicky kid.
Uh-oh.
They put me on goat's milk. Turns out that's because I had a milk allergy, and not because I was lactose intolerant.
Is that not the same? I guess, no, that wouldn't be the same thing,
No,
would
it
it?
isn't. Oh, goody. This all looks, if not very good, good enough. So we're working on Rhythm Cafe levels of,
Can we get a closer shot of the resistors all
yeah.
arranged?
Oop.
Very nice.
So yeah, actually, let me tell you what I'm talking about when I say okay, but not 3.2. Not good, not great. So yeah, that's a good bead right there. You can see that the solder has come through. It's attached itself to that side of the pin, and then also back side, you've got the same level of, let me find focus there. There we go. It's nice and attached. Whereas, if you look at something like,
Beside it,
yeah, right here, that one's not quite as.
it didn't flow through.
It didn't flow all. If it didn't flow through, it didn't flow all the way through, but that's okay because it's still making a good connection.
The connection is the important part, right?
Yeah, and the connection is. Which side does it connect through? I think it goes through hole anyway. Regardless, it should be good. It should be good. Step the next is going to be clicking things off of the screws.
So Live Faustus said, so Ian's saying NASA wouldn't hire him, and it's like it's more because of that. After soldering those in place, he didn't properly, crimp the morettes on.
And let's be NASA wouldn't hire me for a number of reasons. First off, that I don't 100% adhere to the NASA soldering guidelines document. There we go. Got to pull out my Japanese dollar store nippers, and we'll get in there and start taking some of these whiskers off.
That's basically because you don't want to haul out your god hands for this.
Yeah. Also because I don't know what my god hands are, and I wouldn't use my god hands
Don't
on.
say that out loud, please. We'll find them. We'll find your god hands.
Yeah, I think they're in here.
Okay, yeah.
It was just literally that I know I put them somewhere, but they're not. That's what's in my thing in my cubby. Never mind. That's why.
Right. Yes. Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
But I wouldn't use god hands on this because this is metal, and that would ruin the god hands, which I'd be using on plastic, which you can slice through without any dulling. Oh, thank you, Dracinth, for yeah, god hands are absolutely not for anything except soft plastics. I didn't know they would shatter. Thank you, Nikoki. Yeah, if anyone's interested though in checking out the NASA soldering guidelines, which are fascinating and just
And 84 pages long.
yep.
Wow.
But if you want to learn how to solder something that'll take you to a that will survive launching from this planet and then landing on another one, that's how you do it.
I don't know how they would fill that many pages.
It has a foreword. There are signatures.
Well, good artists sign. No, I'm sorry, not good artists. This is something Steve Jobs said. Artists sign their work. And that's why, if you look at the interior of the original Macintosh, you'll find that the case has been signed in the injection mold by all the people who worked on it on the team.
So page 1-2 of this guide is intentionally left blank.
Wait, 1-2?
1-2, so you can set it facing pages.
Okay, yeah, yes. I love this page left entirely, intentionally blank pages.
Yeah. I kind of wish, in a way, that when we were playing Pandemic Legacy, that we started opening documents. There was just a card that when we scratched it off, it said, "This card intentionally left blank."
This city intentionally left infected.
Oh no.
I'm looking at you, Osaka.
I thought you liked Osaka.
I have a a humorous rivalry with Osaka. That's all.
It has a glossary. It has definitions.
Oh,
It
good.
defines dross.
I mean, better to have that than not, right?
Yeah, dross is a word I like to use in just day-to-day whatever. When it's like, I need to get rid of this crud that's kind of
He
accumulating on
does.
whatever.
It's not. He's not joking.
I love
heard
the
it
word
before, yeah.
dross. We have a friend of ours, actually, Daniel Ross, whose email at university was dross at wherever. It doesn't work anymore. But that was dross, and I'm kind of like, God, that's funny to me.
You mean Brassy Dam?
Yeah, bro. But
like-
yeah, dross is oxide and other contaminants that form on the surface of molten solder.
Oh. I thought it was just like debris, like crud. Like,
To be fair, they also define fillet. And that's a smooth concave buildup of material and a bunch of other words I can't read because I can't see them through my
That actually might be fillet.
Ah, okay.
because they're
Fillet of
American.
solder, yeah.
Yeah.
Joint refers to a solder joint or a termination.
Oh, we're using that definition
Or a
of
big ol'
joint?
spliff. Or is a NASA spliff different?
Yes. I would love to see how they define that. Stud termination is interesting. It's not what you would expect.
Does it have to do with cattle?
That's where you take the horse out behind the barn and attach it to a grounding point. All right, that's a nice, good, clean bit of 20 470 ohm resistors. Now you know what's next? 22 1K resistors. Wasn't going to say this was all going to be interesting, folks, but
We're stuck here forever in resistor land.
the resistance only makes the soldering harder. Okay, 1Ks. And the 1Ks go in the 1K holes. Actually, let's make sure we got all the ones we needed there. Because there were 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I have not put one in yet, and I don't know where it needs to go.
Wasn't there an extra one of these?
Oh, it goes up here, actually, and it was pre-soldered. Just gonna make sure there's no others on the board here, just in case I missed one. 1K, 10K, audio out. Okay. Right. Back at it again at Krispy Kreme.
If your solder's crispy, you may have done something wrong. Refer to manual.
Oh no, Nigoki. Pair of wave thin blade nippers that I once used on a part that I forgot was reinforced with a 0.5mm brass rod. Ouch. Yeah, I think I have inhaled some solder smoke.
Flush it out with some beer. You
Some
know?
good beer.
Do you want to?
Already on it.
Should we try to find like a little fan for the table or something?
That's okay.
And blow some air across your mic.
Everyone will love that. No, it's fine. It's fine. And these are the 1K resistors. Okay, that's one. Bend those to the side. If this was actually ACD hardware, you'd have a module with a bunch of 1K resistors in it. Then you'd connect all the pins and connect that module to the correct locations with a wire-wrapped black backplane. Yeah, that sounds right, Roadhog. Thankfully, this is just something that was made with an Arduino. It's cosmetic.
Does that mean you'd find it in a loot box?
Ooh. That's an interesting question. I think would a electronics kit loot box be something that could take off?
It would literally be like loose resistors and capacitors. Probably a breadboard that's missing like half of its side. And I don't know. A big fucking blob of solder. Just like a bolus. Like you could choke on it.
The idea is that you're supposed to just heat up your soldering iron and just stab it to get some solder on your end of it?
Yeah, exactly. You just kind of heat it and dip it.
Like what they do with the giant baby of pizza dough that they had at the at Brickyard Pizza.
Oh yeah.
Brickyard Pizza is a place downtown Victoria, quite good, but they do the kitchen is right in the same area as the eating area, and you go there at certain times of day, and they will have just this man-sized glob of dough sitting on the counter that they just cut portions off of, or quarter portions, for making the pizzas themselves.
That makes sense if you're working at scale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That just reminds me of that post that I think Beej was showing people of making pizza crust stock.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't me specifically.
Yeah, your pizza bones.
It got passed around. Yeah, you don't want to throw out your pizza bones because you make pizza stock out of them.
Mm-hmm. You just boil them in water.
Outside bones, teeth are your outside bones. Apparently they can also be used as currency.
I've heard that teeth are not bones, but that just makes me wonder what they are.
I mean, they're teeth. I mean, your skin isn't bones either. You don't think, well, what is it if my skin is not my bones? What is my skin? Well, it's skin, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's the largest organ in my body.
Yeah, well, I mean, in your body. But, like, yeah, they're teeth. So they're not bones. They're teeth. What else could they be?
Skin? Right,
I mean,
we just dealt with that.
Just established. We know that skin aren't bones, and if skin aren't bones and teeth are bones, then therefore teeth are skin.
Logic.
Yeah. We can further go there because your teeth don't have skin.
I mean, if you brush them regularly, you're right.
Yeah. Is film a skin?
Would that mean that the girls on film then have a second skin?
Girls on skin. Girls
On skin.
I hate when in order to deliver a song joke, I have to skip a beat or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
I want to do the whole beat, but I know if I wait too long, it won't.
It hurts me so much skipping beats.
Yeah.
But without the musical backing, it just makes you sound like you're waiting for no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I'm calling it right there. This year is the year of chanting skin.
I thought that was last year.
Skin. That was teeth.
Oh.
Oh, wow. As Bodacious Nia tells us, human teeth are made up of 4 different types of tissue. I didn't know that.
Oh.
Pulp, dentin.
Ew, pulp.
Yeah, pulp. There's pulp in your teeth.
Yep.
Then that's covered in dentin. Then that's covered in enamel. The 4th is cementum. I have never heard that before.
Neither have I, but I'm very curious to find out about cementum.
What?
Thank you, Bodacious Neo.
Like, I guess the enamel is on the outside of the tooth. Where's the cementum?
Right? I've never heard of it before.
Is that what they're calling fillings now?
No, it has to be like something else.
Like, I'm guessing that's what it's probably what allows it to grip onto the gums.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Or maybe
Oh. And crazy Carrie Butterman. Yeah, Scary, Crazy Butter Knife says. Cementum is a rubbery layer between your dentin and jaw.
That's so awesome.
So, yeah, we're learning all sorts of things today. And hopefully you are too.
Look at all the teeth enthusiasts in the chat. This is awesome.
Yeah. You can just say dentists.
It could be dental hygienists too,
Yeah.
or medieval surgeons.
It could just be amateur teeth enthusiasts.
You're right.
Not everybody who likes teeth has what it takes to become a dental professional.
They could just have a fetish.
Yeah.
We're indulging them in some sort of weird sexual kink at this moment, which is fine. We're just talking about teeth.
Yep. I personally just can't get anywhere unless I see someone stepping on some teeth and some high heels.
Oh, Christ! Oh! Did you see that commercial of the guys setting up for they're setting up like a chair? It's like they're making sound effects, and a guy lies on his back, and they put a chair they just put a chair, put one of the legs on his open teeth.
Oh no!
And the other guy jumps up in the air and makes like he's going to land on the chair, and they immediately cut to someone biting into a cracker.
No.
And then they hard cut to "We make the best sound effects," and it's the name of the studio that makes sound effects.
I think someone just linked it in the chat. That's very, very good.
Yeah,
Bitch.
you don't even have to be watching it. Like you can even have it on mute, and you can hear the sound it makes.
Oh. I don't want that.
I am so glad that good ads still get made. I spend an inordinate amount of time trying to make sure I don't see any ads at all ever until I make the time to go see the Cannes Lions when they play.
And then it's a treat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're all good. They're award-winning. They're very good. They're good ads, Bront. But oh god, I was at the movies the other day. And I was thinking I really need, because I've missed the Cannes since I moved to Victoria, because didn't know where they were playing in Victoria at all or when until just this year. And this year was the year we held a retreat during the weekend where the Cannes Lions were playing in Victoria. Next year I'm going no matter what, because I absolutely need my good ads in my face.
So you didn't know about it because they didn't advertise well enough?
Well, not in the channels that he was involved in.
Like if you're getting your ad through, something's gone wrong on my part, or you're something I don't want. But it's an important position to take. Like I'm not the only person like myself out there, and this was something that came up when we would talk back at my old job at Elections BC about doing advertising for elections, because we do need to do advertising. People need to know when there's an election and what the process of the election is, and you do need to take into account people who do a lot of blocking, because those are, especially when you're a governmental agency like that needs to reach people. And I don't know what the answer is.
The answer is you try to get 99% of everyone. And that 1%, you're going to try your darndest.
And the 1% just elect them anyway.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's see here. We got another couple more 1K resistors here. Not many left to bend into place. Oh, can I tell you one of my favorite things about my new job, though? Because I'm currently, I'm working in education now. I get to lay out educational documentation in design and in CSS. And I just finished getting to work on the workbooks and instructional books for level 4 carpentry, the Red Seal books.
Cool.
And it is fascinating.
Are you learning as you go?
Like, what kind of theft is, if like time theft is the idea that you're stealing your employer's time, what kind of theft is it if I'm unauthorizedly learning on the job?
That's kind of remarkable, actually, now that I think about it, that your job consists of, like, because you have to probably review it to ensure that it's understandable. That you've created something that's like, oh, people can read this fairly comfortably, and everything's laid out.
At the very least, I've got to make sure to read the beginnings and endings of pages to make sure flow makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, time theft is just kind of bad as a concept anyway.
I only refer to time theft as in jocular means.
You refer to it with an eye roll.
Yeah. I find the whole idea kind of funny. Okay.
Does it matter which direction the resistors are facing?
Thankfully, no. Resistors are non-polar.
These ones, anyway.
The majority of, but yeah, like these sort of through-hole ones.
Okay.
Because if you have a resistor that does have a polarity, that's a diode.
All I remember is you having previous issues with that.
Yeah. Well, there was that one time I didn't isolate my power sources on a little Arduino, and it melted a diode off. The diode did what it was supposed to, which was to keep power from flowing in the wrong direction. But looking for any other 1K squares on this board, and I can't see anymore, which means it's time to flip it over and start soldering. Wow. There's a space here for a very accurate real-time clock.
Is that what they call it?
That's what they're asking for, at least. Okay. Oh, hey. My soldering item was smart and took itself down to 200 degrees while I waited. And now while I picked it up, it's heating back up to 400.
Yeah, the nice, safe 200 degrees.
It's not out of line. Okay, so after this, we have, looks like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But only about 9 more resistors to do, and then the female pins, and then we're in. What do I think about the news about people searching for meteorites in Ontario?
They're doing that?
Yeah, cool. I mean, there was recently a meteorite or something that exploded in the atmosphere, and so there was yeah, of course that would mean that people are out there probably searching for meteorites. I mean, if I had a lot more time and more interest, that's something I probably wouldn't mind trying to do.
I mean, if we lived out there, we probably would make content out of it.
Yeah. You mentioned going to the movies. What movie did you watch?
Midsommar.
I also watched that one.
It's a good film.
I don't normally go out to see horror films.
Same, and I really enjoyed it. It's because it's not like other horror films.
Yeah,
it's all very bright and out in the open.
And it is, I would say, masterful at planting and payoff.
What I would say, though, is do choose your theater correctly, because one of the things I liked about Midsommar that it did is it uses silence very well.
A lot.
Yeah. And
did you have a nearby theater?
The next door theater, I don't know on which direction, but there were a couple of very tense scenes that happened, and you could hear quite clearly through the theater walls. Can you hear us?
I had that same kind of problem when I went down to watch.
It was the movie about the guy who knows the Beatles songs.
Oh yeah, I don't remember actually identifying any of the noises, but I know there were noises.
It's kind of ironic actually that a movie about what if nobody remembered the Beatles, and I could hear clearly through a wall that was supposed to be soundproofed exactly what Beatles song was playing,
Yeah. Oh.
and I could tell that it was not by the Beatles.
Yeah. Now, would you recommend Midsommar?
If you like films, yes. If you there are so many content warnings to Midsummer
Yeah.
that I cannot even begin to list them all.
Yeah.
But if you like horror, absolutely see Midsummer. If you're not a big fan of horror, but you like good films, just good films,
Very good cinematography.
I would recommend it.
Yeah. Like there's a couple shots with people framing themselves in the shot with a mirror.
Oh, yeah.
And a conversation between two people, at least two people anyway, is happening with one on camera and the other on camera through a mirror. And I didn't quite catch what that was alluding to in like film language.
Yeah,
I just thought it looked really good.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
What my favorite thing to do at the movies now, though, is to look at things and try to or just basically point out to myself, that's a drone shot.
Yeah.
That's a drone shot. Because I do honestly think that filming drones with high quality cameras on them are probably one of the most important inventions in cinema in the past decade, or maybe even longer.
Yeah.
Like I think more people are doing things with drones, and more filmmakers are doing interesting things with drone shots because they're allowing them to get shots that they would never be able to get otherwise, that would require a helicopter and a crew. Then more people are doing that than are accessing the high end of what do you call it? Special effects. I think it's really changed the way that the lower budget and independent films look for the better.
Midsommar as a movie used special effects, like computer special effects, sparsely and only in like shots related to drug use. Everything else, at least to my knowledge and the way it appeared, seemed to be practical effects.
Mm-hmm. No, agreed.
Which had a very big impact.
Mm-hmm.
That is a movie that if you're squeamish, like I didn't know what to expect because I went in with a friend who wanted to watch it, and they like watching horror movies. I only heard the title and it's a horror movie walking in.
You're like, well, okay.
You see some stuff. It's not pleasant.
But it's that kind of movie.
Yeah. It's also very subtle, the storytelling. I don't know how much magic happened. Maybe none. And they leave it openly vague.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
And then we just finished watching at home the second Gundam Zeta film of the new translations, which I am a big fan of. Oh, I'm so excited, by the way, for anyone who does have a care about Gundam, that they will be doing an international release of the 5-part Gundam Reconquista in G movies.
What about them makes you recommend them so?
It's a silly, dumb series that is a lot of fun and doesn't require any knowledge of the Gundam universe at all, but will pay off a bit if you know something.
So they're very good entry level.
No, because
No?
they don't. They are. It's much like Turn A Gundam. Gundam Reconquista NG is
Self-referential.
self-contained.
Self-contained.
Yeah. Like it does make reference to things that could be previous Gundam series, but you're not sure because the time between them is so long. for those who care and have not seen the series, it probably takes place many hundreds of years, if not thousands, after Gundam, after Turn A Gundam.
In the bright future that Turn A Gundam founded, right? I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Actually, yeah. Turn A Gundam occurs. It's a story of people invading from the moon, and doing battle against the people of the Earth, who are currently only at the just out of the Steam Age. I did hear, those of you who were asking about the fire at Kyoto animation, and that is a real shame for the industry.
Yeah, a very historic thing to happen in Japan, because it's like the biggest body count in a long time of anything like that.
I think the words we're looking for are mass killing.
Yeah.
And it's the largest, the most significant mass killing in Japan. Previous to this was the Aum Shinrikyo attacks on the Tokyo subway with sarin gas, which killed 18 people, if I recall correctly.
Was that 1995?
That sounds right. Yeah, that does sound right.
Yeah, I remember being very young and hearing the word sarin gas and having no context.
What was weird was going to, or having my brother go to Japan. I went to Japan in '96. My brother went in '97 or '98, and he was telling me about the dance club that he went to in Shinjuku called Gas Panic.
Oh no.
Yeah, you can guess what that was named after.
Panic at the Disco?
Yes, no.
Do you think flux would be good for those very close resistors?
I don't really need them, thankfully. But I think I am going to finally order the needle point tip for this soldering iron. Oh, 34. Thank you, Dark Morford. That's sad to hear that one more person passed in the hospital. All right, where are we going? That looks like that is all of these ones.
And how many fumes did you inhale?
Oh, the requisite number. The requisite amount. All right, let's start trimming. And then we can get on to the final set of resistors. And if we're lucky tonight, we might even be able to get get a test in. But for the moment, why don't we take a short break while I trim these off? We can all cycle fluids as necessary, and we'll be back with more Tinker Tailor Solder Fry after this. Do not go away. Welcome back to Tinker Tailor Solder Fry, the Let's Try program here on the mighty Loading Ready Live Video Entertainment Network. I'm your host, Ian Horner, and joining me today on tech, we have Matt Griffiths.
Woo!
And Brendan Beach Deary.
Woo.
And we are currently in the middle of assembling an S&T Geotronics LLC DSKY Replica version 1.0E Apollo guidance computer. This is what it looks like right now. Later on, it'll look more. We're currently in the midst of soldering on a bunch of resistors. We are on step 5 of many. Oops, no, we're not on step 5. We're on step 4 because we're on step 3.
Oh no.
Because I have 4 10K resistors to solder on. But before we do that, I'm just going to count out the resistors here to make sure I had the appropriate amount soldered down. Where's my pen to point with? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 22 is the number we're supposed to have. Those are the 1Ks. Let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I'm bad at counting. Nas likes pronouncing. Yeah, so DSKY. You're correct, Roadhog. Right, we were doing the four 10K resistors, and they're going to go there, 2 there, 3 there, and number 4 is, where is the 4th one?
Somewhere on the board.
Yeah, we'll find out. Let's get them out. Let's get them on the table. All right, there's 3, and that's the 4th 10K. First one goes through this little hole here. Bend those in the directions which are out. That's 1. 2 goes up next to one of the Max 7219s. Put that through there. Okay, and then number 3. Where was I putting these? No, that's still necessary. We'll put the ones we don't need over there for now. Fourth one is up there. Yeah, once you start populating these boards, it starts to become a little bit more difficult to find out where things go, counterintuitively.
Yeah, that does seem odd.
And finally, here we go. Oh, didn't quite make that one clean. There we go. That's a clean-ish through hole. Soldering iron is currently at 270, 280, 290, working its way up. Yeah, Malfunct, I don't think we're going to space today, but we're going to get there. Sean the Man, tonight's beer is the Farmland Strawberry Tart Saison from Fieldhouse Brewing. Need to talk to them about a sponsorship. Not of the show, but just of my belly.
Mm-hmm. It looks like they have fruit and spice in this one.
2 great tastes.
I love generic spice.
Oh, generic.
No name.
My friend, you must be introduced to melange.
Melange? I like how that's some really special sounding thing, and it's just the word mix in French.
Exactly.
More specifically, melange means variety. And melange has, is it geriatric properties? It basically has life-extending properties.
Among others.
What we've been told is variety is the spice of life.
Yep.
I know, right?
Oh, that pun is a killing word.
I hate that shit. Oh my god. Well, that was Frank. Frank did that one to us.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Let's give credit or blame where it is due.
Yeah. Frankly, I'm okay with that.
Frank left us with a pun that takes some work to get to, that's not inside the text.
Yeah.
Brian loves his father's work.
I mean, like, the best, spiciest puns are outside of the text, right?
Mm-hmm. There we go. Since you've had beer before, how hoppy is a saison usually? Because I lived near some little breweries and they've made some pretty strong saisons. I don't find saisons to be very hoppy at all, because if you're drinking a saison, you're drinking it because you want that funky flavor of that bad boy yeast.
They're very yeasty.
Well, they don't taste yeasty, but the reactions of the yeast are a little bit more raw. So yeah, if you're getting a saison, you're generally not going to want to be covering up that flavor with a bunch of hops. And that goes with pretty much any beer that wants to highlight its flavor.
Instead of just highlighting the hops.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the 10Ks. And now the 100K.
Getting richer and richer by the minute.
Mm-hmm. So much resistance. We only have 3 of these. I love the way electronics come on tapes sometimes.
So this is a fruity beer that you have. Anyway.
It has...
Like it's a strawberry tart saison.
Yes.
What would you say is the best fruit, in your opinion, to put into beers?
Oh,
as a flavor profile.
Actually, that's an easy one for me.
Is it strawberry?
No, it's not. My favorite fruit to put into beer is the serrano pepper.
I guess that is technically a fruit.
I make a mean chili stout, which I find to be one of my favorite things to drink in the summer, because weirdly the heat from the so it's just a standard stout, but I for secondary fermentation will take 2 serrano peppers, 2 jalapenos, and 2 habaneros. Somewhat de-pith them, and definitely de-seed them, and then throw them into the secondary fermentation. And I like them for summer beers because the slight heat from the chilies gives you that little bit of perspiration and ends up cooling you down just a bit.
Like, that is the rule people say, is that hot food will cool you down, which I think temperature hot food physically does not cool you down because you're inputting heat into the system.
Correct.
Chili, like spicy chili kind of food, will cool you down because it's a simulated heat. Your body responds to it as if it is on fire.
Exactly. It's a psychosomatic response.
Yeah. And those are the best ones.
No, it's straight up physical. It's not psychosomatic.
You know what? Sometimes it's really good to get physical, right?
How many 80s songs can we quote?
I'm quoting a lot of them myself here, too. And I wasn't even around.
Sean, the man, that chili vodka sounds fantastic.
Oh, yeah, you can infuse vodka with any flavor profile.
Though I would recommend, if you are going to infuse vodka with rosemary, don't leave it in too long, because it will turn black and it will look less appetizing.
Well, what if you want black vodka? If you're a goth, you know.
If you need black vodka, then I guess you gotta have your black vodka.
Yeah.
Squid ink.
Squid ink.
Might be an interesting one, yeah.
Well, and I guess that is an easy way to get a blue drink as well, because there's very few blue additives, right?
Curacao.
Like, that's the known one. Yeah. But...
All right. Was that enough? Did that get enough through? Oh, yeah. No, those all look delicious. Let's trim those up.
I know the solder's sweet, but don't lick it.
And now we'll just continuity test our board here with my tongue. The tingle tells you it's working. those. Okay, and finally,
For step 5, finally.
that was the, wait, all 4. No, that was 4. Okay, all 300K. Those were 100K. Okay, good. The ones in the manual are a different color. I was a little worried there for half a second, but we're good. We're good. Let's get out that 15 ohm resistor. I'm not even looking at thousands of ohms. This is just 15 straight up. Comes on its own piece of paper. I like it. That they've threaded like a needle. Okay. Put that over there. This is a 15 ohm resistor. You go where?
On the board.
I mean, ideally, next to the MP1, 2, next to, aha, there you are, right up at the top, next to the Neo 6M GPS module. Always wanted to have access to a weird GPS chip, and because it's going to be put on with some female headers, I'll be able to use it for other projects in the meantime. Oh, did I lose power? Oh, soldering iron finally decided to turn off. Boot, please.
It's striking until you update its firmware.
Firmware. DFU 3.45. Uh-oh.
Is it actually striking?
It might actually be striking. Oh, boy. Okay. Hold on. Let's unplug that for a bit. Just install Linux on it.
Perhaps you should have another pull from your beer and describe its flavor profile in a deeper way while we're waiting for this to...
Hold on. I have to ask there. Sorry, Brownie, are you being serious that I should avoid a certain firmware update for my soldering iron, or is that just a joke? Okay, just a joke. Okay, good. Huh. Yep, it looks like it just decided that it wanted to not.
To have a nap, you know.
Yeah.
It's a warm summer day. Perfect time for nap.
Well, it's getting itself into DFU mode, which is a good thing. It is actually already jailbroken Ukon Visara. This is a third-party firmware that I'm running on my TS80, which is it's a good soldering iron and it's a good firmware too. But that kind of puts us at
an impasse.
it kind of gives us a hard stop as to what we can do with a board that needs solder hot.
You don't have your other soldering iron
That's
here?
a good point. I do have my other soldering iron here.
I know you'll have to plug it in and take some time with it, but...
Yeah, but it's the question is, where did I put it?
Is it with your god hand?
Nope. It is right here. Ooh. In the tool bag.
Do you call that tool bag Tim?
No, my father's name was Tim.
Oh.
And yes, the jokes did fly fast and furious, as you would expect. Because he was also known for being
The tool guy.
yeah, a bit of a tinkerer, a guy who isn't afraid to get his hands, if not dirty, into things. Those things being, of course, projects.
Would you say that you learned it from him then?
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. That's pretty fair. while that's heating up, I'm going to take care of one other project that I needed to take care of today. And that is, I need to give my belt a new hole. So I've lost too much weight and these jeans fit too well. And this belt is all here, so let's find out where the point would be where I would need a new... Oh, actually, we can just space it out evenly. So let's grab that. Let's,
You really? Oh, okay.
Get the camera in there. What are we doing?
Sorry. I'm just astonished.
Yes, that's fine. I don't mind that you're astonished.
Okay. And space that out to about there. Seems right. Okay. And punch it. Dun, 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 dun. There's the hole. And where's my knife? Because we'll want to just give it a bit of a slit.
And this is where Ian stabbed himself.
Right in the junk. That'll do. That will do. Let's see if that's comfortable. Just a bit. There we go. Ooh, that's good. And this is a belt I've had since high school.
Oh,
Cool.
wow. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it used to be, I forget what the color used to be on the front. I think it actually had a mirror finish, and then it, what was it? There was a coating on it. It's like a varnish, and the varnish eventually scraped off after years. And I thought, well, I gotta make this look nice, so I just took a wire wheel to it and revealed this beautiful copper underneath. Okay, are we hot enough?
Well, with all that belt action.
Yeah, we definitely are hot enough. Okay. With a needle tip, this might take a little bit longer, but theoretically we can get better joints, maybe?
Are they up to the manual standard, though?
The manual standard, maybe. NASA's, absolutely not. Ugh, don't like the smell of that. Let's take that down to about 375. Next up is the 100 ohms resistor, which is also in this package. And where do you go, my friend? Where do you go, my resistive friend? You go next to the buck converter, which, if I recall, takes John Candy and turns him into a different character.
John Not So Candy.
Was it here that I was listening to someone talk about the fact that they thought John Candy was in King Ralph?
Yes.
Good, okay, good. Everything's starting to bleed together.
Is it the fumes getting to you?
Hopefully not. All right. Yeah, I think I preferred the spade connector. To be honest, it gives me a wider range to work with, but it's not necessary. All right. Let's trim that down. Trim this one as well. Good, good. Whole wheat shreddies. Wow.
I've eaten so many of those in my life.
Talk about advertising. Tinker Tailor Soldier Fries brought to you by no one.
Except viewers like you.
That's true. And we'll get to that. Don't worry. Okay, so next up it wants us to put down a pad to mount the NeoPixels. Thank God we do not have to do that by hand. So let's see if we can get out because we're still got plenty of time left. I love that Saran wrap is a effective and approved method of electronics wrap. Okay, what were you? You're the big, thick Aleph something or other.
Aleph null?
Nope. That's a different thing. Okay, so we've got a lot of pins that we have to apparently cut. Jeebus, I've never done this before. Okay, we need 2 strips of female pin connectors that go into the Arduino holes, which are here.
Looks like you cut that thing in half then.
Well, not quite.
No? I guess they give you a couple extra, or
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do with this is score it and then
snap it.
snap it. Seems to
Break
be
me off a bit of that.
Uh-oh. Did I get enough? Did I get enough holes?
Do they still sell Mega Wheats?
I don't even know what you're talking about, so no?
Like the giant shredded wheat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I had those as a kid.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I like them.
Did you put like sugar and stuff on them?
I think so. I was so young that I don't remember.
I thought at one point, as a gag, Mini Wheats made Mega Wheats.
I think it's the same company, isn't it?
Kellogg's Mini Wheats. Shredded wheat is made by General Mills, I think.
Oh. I thought they first came out with the shredded wheat and then developed the Mini Wheats.
Yeah, you'd seem like miniaturization would be the difficult thing.
Yeah. Especially since they didn't have any sugar on them already, so they're just plain simpler.
Like, I desperately love Mini Wheats.
That worked so well.
Oh, good.
I mean, mostly. Yep. Okay, that's a pin gone.
But you have extra ones.
Shredded wheat is Nabisco in Canada. Weetabix is from somebody else.
Weetabix is completely different from shredded wheat, though.
Yeah.
Weetabix will become a soggy mess within seconds.
Will it?
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, shredded wheat takes at least a little while before it will start to break down in milk.
Yeah.
God, now I'm hungry for Mini Wheats again. Damn it.
Literally same.
I can't deal. It was so good.
You're clean. You can't go back.
I shouldn't go back. It's a terrible idea.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I've got enough female pins.
My favorite flavor is maple. Mini Wheats.
Yeah, those are really good. Yeah.
Maple anything, really.
Yeah,
right?
something about that.
It might be Canadiana seeping through me.
Maybe it is. Maple Pretz is not that delicious, as I've found.
I've never had Pretz.
Yeah, Pretz is
I've only had pretzels.
Uncoated Pocky, basically.
Pocky that doesn't have anything on it, and then they dust it in a flavoring as opposed to covering it in icing.
I wonder why they're underwhelming.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean like tomato Pretz or pizza Pretz are really good because they're dusted and whatever. But something about like the giant maple Pretz, and by giant I mean these things are probably like they're about most of the length of a ruler. They're about 20-25 centimeters long, but they're just not as tasty somehow. You make a giant pretzel stick that big and it just is not tasty.
They might just be better for savory flavors rather than sweet.
I think that might be the case. Now, if it was like maple icing, then it'd be a Pocky, and then it would be different. But...
Yeah.
So it looks like I may just need to get some more female pin slots. Thankfully, I have a bunch of them from ordering so many Wemos D1s for Desert Bus last year.
Is it just me, or do most Canadian, air quotes, foods that are known internationally from out east, like poutine
Oh, yeah.
and the bear paws?
I mean, the only other thing would be smoked salmon.
Yeah, lox.
Yeah.
That's the one thing the West Coast is known for.
Like sockeye salmon is kind of the thing, and when you get smoked sockeye salmon, people are like, oh, wow. It's like sockeye is a very rich flavor.
Fancy.
And then you add smokiness to it.
Yeah, Nanaimo bars. Yeah, I guess that's a West Coast thing. But I mean, a lot of stuff like deep dish blueberry pie and tourtière and poutine, all coming from the Maritimes and Quebec.
France.
I've heard that apple pie is not an American creation, but a Canadian one.
I'll take it. Sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Like cherry pie is the American pie.
if I have to choose between taking from the Americans the telephone or apple pie, I'll take the telephone
Yeah, sure. Fair enough.
because the Americans like to talk about being as an American as apple pie, but everyone has to use the telephone.
Dutch style American pie.
Is the Canadian invention? Is that what you're...
I don't know. They're saying that American apple pie is actually Dutch style.
So it's all from...
So it's not even American at all.
Yeah.
So, basketball was invented by a Canadian man who had moved to the United States.
Yeah.
And when people are like, "Oh, it was invented in Canada," it's like, no, it was not. It was invented by a Canadian who had moved to the United States.
It literally was not invented in Canada.
Yeah, it's all right, and it's all right for things to be that way, because we have the zipper, and I feel pretty good about laying claim to the zipper.
Really? We invented the zipper?
Apparently, a Canadian invented the zipper. One of my favorites is also Robertson screws,
Yeah.
which
the
everyone
better
else
screw.
in the world knows as square drive screws, and we're like, yeah, those are Robertson
Yeah,
screws.
they're the good kind.
Yeah, the ones that don't cam out.
Yeah. The Robbie Burns screw.
Sorry. I'm trying to think of how would you describe camming out?
Like how he dances at Desert Bus.
I guess that, yeah. Just grab a really nice pastry and a book and cam out.
We had a nice little conversation about poutine at the Korean chicken place we were
Yes,
at.
we did with Americans.
Yeah, because they had asked us specifically. It's like, so what actually generates, like, what makes this poutine as opposed to anything else?
What should I look for in poutine if I want authentic poutine? Was the first question.
Cheese curds, right?
And we had to break down the idea of, okay, well, do you want good poutine or authentic poutine?
Yeah,
because
you
they're
can dress it up with a lot of very nice stuff.
Yeah, they're not mutually exclusive, but
Yeah.
they can be.
Yeah, like poutine is one of those things where it's like, it's meant to, like, good fries. Just make some nice fries. Mm-hmm. But then your gravy is like, it's not meant to be top shelf, duck reduction, whatever. It's meant to be brown gravy from a packet.
No, that said, I have been to Quebec, to Hull, Quebec, and had, God, what was it?
Poutine?
No, I ordered poutine. It was
You might have
the
bumped.
gravage.
You might have bumped your goose, is what you're thinking of.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was duck pate, not pate. Yeah, duck pate.
Fascinating.
Duck liver pate poutine.
Huh.
Yeah, I ate it because they wouldn't serve me a goddamn bison tartare.
Right.
But it was, yeah, you can really fancy up poutine if you want to, but you don't need to.
Yeah. What we kind of said, and this is coming from West Coast Canadians, like Anglophone Canadians, is like, you got to have the cheese curds on poutine. You can do chunks of part skim mozzarella if you want, and it'll be kind of melty and whatnot, but really get yourself some cheese curds, and that's the way it's supposed to go. And it's nice, and it's fun, and it's tasty, and don't think you have to put too much effort into making this a thing, because it's not meant to be. It's like when you make a burger, right? It's like you don't have to overdo it.
Yeah, like good. You can make a good. The simplest burger can be delicious, but you can also go ham on burgers.
A hamburger?
Such a thing.
I prefer turkey.
Delightfully devilish, either way. I hope someone on the East Coast is making clam burgers.
Clam burgers, oh my god.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I kind of want to make that. If you press together a bunch of clams into a patty, and then dress it up with a white gravy, so sort of like a clam chowder on a
Oh,
sandwich.
interesting. Yeah, like a white cream sauce.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can do the New England clam chowder or the
Manhattan clam chowder.
Manhattan clam chowder. You have two options there.
Do you know why I know the difference between the two of those?
The color.
Ace Ventura?
No.
No, that's how I do.
It would be the NES Three Stooges game. Because up till that point, I only knew, and I've never played the game. I only read about the game.
Yeah, me too.
Because there's apparently a mini game where you have to pull crackers out of clam chowder.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is the bowl red? Clam chowder's white. What the hell is this? So I eventually have to go up and find out. Oh no, there's another clam chowder.
I know it from my previous job, but sure, it takes all kinds.
Another lesser clam chowder. Don't at me.
In Ace Ventura, the scene is he comes up to a door and he knocks on it. On either side, it's, what's the password? New England clam chowder. Is that the red or the white? Oh, I can never remember that. Counts on his fingers. White? And it unlocks. I like that as a thing, because it's like, well, was the guy on the other side unsure, or was that actually the two-factor authentication here?
Yeah.
Was he counting down the what OTP?
I'm wondering if the counting on the fingers is to be like, is you're using that as a mnemonic somehow? And what I came up with was two things, is that Manhattan clam chowder and New England clam chowder, so one's M and one's N. So M comes before N. Well, red R comes before white W. And I was like, that's how you make that that makes sense. And then somebody had said, oh yeah, like Boston clam chowder. I'm like, you fuck off. Don't ruin my mnemonic. Don't call it Boston clam chowder. It's New England clam chowder.
Don't ruin this for me.
Boston.
Yeah.
I've been to Boston now a couple times. I have yet to put my foot in the Atlantic Ocean. I'm a little pissed off that I keep forgetting to do that.
Specifically in Boston?
Well, they have access to the Atlantic Ocean. I don't care where I do it, but that's a place to do it. I haven't been anywhere else that's on the East Coast.
Let's do it next time we're in Chicago.
Yeah.
You're right. Next time we're in Chicago, I will put my foot in the Atlantic Ocean. I don't know what I was thinking. I did put my hand in Lake Michigan. Didn't even regret it.
Yes. How's your hand doing? Or should I ask it itself?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Just go to, Halifax. Go enjoy the Canadian Culture Center for Comedy.
One does not go to Halifax.
One finds themselves in Halifax?
One warps oneself to Halifax.
Spoken like a true West Coaster.
It was weird. Lake Michigan is weird because standing there and looking across the lake and realizing you can't see the other side, much like an ocean would be,
Yeah.
is a little distressing because that's fresh water and that's a lake. It's an enclosed body of water, but it's like, oh, they really are big, aren't they? Because I've never visited a lake that big. Even like Okanagan and Skaha Lake, which are fair-sized lakes, are not that big. You can see the other side.
Unless it's really, really misty.
Okay. One more thing I need to do, friends, before I can power this thing up, hopefully, and test these lights, and that's install the buck converter. And for that, I'm going to need to trim this a bit.
Does it convert it from buck to beef?
My name's Buck, and I like to convert voltage. Has anyone in this room actually watched Big Buck Bunny?
I thought you were referencing Kill Bill.
Is that an entire movie?
It's a short film.
It is a short. I've never watched it from end to end. No.
Nor have I, because I think I've seen it show up in in an open source video demo.
It's meant to be used, I think, as like tests for how well a codec or like a piece of hardware can actually do its job.
Like my understanding was it was actually meant to be a film. It was entered in film
Oh,
festivals,
interesting. Okay.
and it just happened to be because it was under a license, I'm going to say the GPL because it usually is. Oh boy, that's going to bleed.
Did you just?
Oh yeah, I just really,
You really just?
Do you want to?
yeah, I'm going to need a Band-Aid.
Okay.
It's not necessary yet. This is an oozing.
Can you fetch one, Matt?
Yeah.
Thank you. I will mute Matt.
Thanks. But yeah, that's when I was snapping that just managed to. It was bad. It was bad. Yep, it's going to develop a taste for blood. But we got to move on. I'm going to move on, and we got to. Oh, hey, 2 fingers. That was a good, real good one.
Did you cut 2 fingers?
Mm-hmm.
Ian, do I need to get 2 Band-Aids?
No, one's fine. Thank you.
Then you didn't cut it. You just nicked it.
Oh no, that's.
Oh, I mean, no, that one's cut.
Yeah.
That one's bleeding.
Oh yeah, I tore skin on two consecutive fingers.
Both are bleeding.
Yeah, but one's bleeding less.
Okay. This summer, Ian got real cut.
You have lost a lot of weight, actually. Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've become stable, and I'm happy where I'm at. And I hope you all find your happy state as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but Lady Elrios, Mercano, I considered it for a hot second,
Yeah.
but it wasn't hot enough for me to consider it any farther. Where's
Consider what?
well, I have a soldering iron.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Okay, which insert Arduino Nano and buck converter now. Okay, so wait, adjustable buck converter. There we go. So toss that over to the other side. Make sure it's in there good and straight. Get the first one in. Oh no. No, that's fine.
I just noticed that I brought you a regular Band-Aid that I got out of the Hello Kitty box of Band-Aids.
Okay, thank you for ending that with something that's okay.
I don't know what it was doing in that box, but okay, I guess a normal Band-Aid's fine.
A cat is fine too.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, you are going to slowly turn into a cat, though.
It's okay. It's just from back when Twitter was good. And Twitter was never good.
So it has no origin.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, it'll be fine. This other blood will be fine. Have I bled the most on camera in Loading Ready Run?
I think usually other injuries are impact rather than cut. So bruises compared to brazing or whatever.
Okay, I found the buck converter, but it needs some pins. Why do I not? Am I missing some pins? Did I not get enough pins?
I thought we counted everything out and it was fine.
I did, but oh, Chinese Ninja Warrior. Where are your pins? I'll just buy more pins. Or rather, bring pins home. And I'll use pins from here. So we can get to a stable state by the end of the show.
You have 5 minutes.
Okay, and I need to jump. These are interesting things. Things that I don't know about buck converters. Is that there's a jumper on the back of here. Let's see if we can get it in there. You've got your different voltages listed all the way down there. And we want to bridge the 5-volt one with a little bit of solder there. So we'll do that first. 5 volt? 5 volt.
Can you do that without masking it?
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
You did it. That was successful.
Tiny little blob of solder. Just there. This is actually, sorry, I gotta say, Matt, this camera is actually handy because I can read things better looking off the preview
Yeah.
than
it's
I
blown
can just
up.
like getting in my face. So let's solder in those pins. And we'll do that by standing it. Nope. You know what's a good idea is a third hand. Just to hold the solder. Just enough to get that first pin in. There we go. And once you get the first one in, it's a lot easier to do the rest. All right.
That was a pop.
Yep, that's there's flex inside the solder, and sometimes it likes to go sputter and pop. But that looks good. Okay. Okay, buck converter in there. And then we're going to insert the
It is 7:57.
Arduino, yeah. So, guess how we're going to start the next episode of Tinker Tailor Solder Fry?
By soldering the Arduino components to itself.
Yep, by taking the pins.
Let's get a good shot of this.
Yep, the pins on the teensy
Oh, Jesus.
and soldering all them in before we can plug it in.
Should this be an exercise left for homework, or?
I mean, we've been enjoying some soldering on the stream. I think we can do it again in the future. But the point is, we're not going to be able to finish the LED test this episode, which is okay because that means we'll probably have some more stuff to do next week. The point is, we got a lot of work to do here. There's a lot of holes here on this board, and we need to fill every one of them with something.
That's what this stream is about.
With something
filling
on this
holes.
table. We need to fill these holes with hot solder. So, yeah, it's not a strict time limit, but you know, we've got 3 people here who have families and need to get home and see food and eat their friend.
What?
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me here today while I put some hot stuff on a board and then made it go together with metal. I appreciate all of you who've chosen to show your support monetarily, either over at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun or here on twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun, or even those of you who just choose to sit around in the chat, either chatting it up with us or just being silent in your own way. We appreciate everyone and everything you do here. But before we get into the thanks specifically, let's talk about what's coming up on the channel. Beach, take it away.
Friday Night Paper Fight is tomorrow night starting at 5 p.m. We'll be drafting a Robo Rosewater Cube produced by one of our fans.
Ooh.
These cards are all playable. They might not be good cards, but they are definitely playable.
They function.
Hey, look! Saturday at noon is the beginning of the Tabletop Day stream.
Is it?
And later in that day will be the end of the Tabletop Day stream.
Thank God.
Something like 9 hours of tabletop we have planned, something along that
But
line.
it won't be desert bus levels of silly.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. But we do have a lot of games lined up. There is a YouTube video you can go watch to see what it is we'll be playing. The finale of Hero Quest will be there. And the Betrayal Legacy stream that you missed last week will be there as well.
I mean, we can go through this. What are you playing, Beach?
Hero Quest.
Cool. I'll also be on the Hero Quest.
Nice.
Yeah. And of course, there'll be other games too.
Great.
Next, after that, it's Runner 2 on Rhythm Cafe.
Yeah, you guys played a little of that already, right?
Yeah, we did. And
right.
it was because Scream Go Hero was bad and short.
And then, of course, I'm rolling in for Shadowrun Hong Kong on Play It Forward. That's going to just... Somebody in the chat offhandedly said, oh, we're almost at the end of Act 2, and Act 3 is left to come. And I'm like, okay, good.
Oh, this is good. This is good. This is giving me precedence for my, hopefully my Play It Forward.
When you do 18 sessions, yeah, it's... I don't mind if they go a little longer like this, but we're trying not to make them go too long.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to have at least one short one in between.
Yeah, exactly.
I really want to play.
Dice Friends! Adam Coble is coming up here to run a one-shot game of Dungeon World for us. And as you can see from the thumbnail, Kathleen, Adam, Corey, and Serge will be playing that with him. So that'll be at 4 p.m., because part of the stream is apparently also building the characters.
It's going to be super fun.
Yeah, so they're going to be starting that at 4 and continuing until Play It Forward at 8 o'clock, where I'll be doing more Shadowrun Hong Kong. And then after that, we're just basically into the same things we always see, like 9 o'clock on Tuesday and Talking Sim on Tuesday and Let's Nope on Tuesday. And you know what? I'm just done.
Things change so much after the first 3 days that it's not even worth getting into.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But what is worth getting into is thanking our lovely subs. And we have a number of them today, and I'm going to kill time until Beej gives me the signal that lets me know that Andrew has subscribed for 53 months. Thank you so much for your support, Andrew.
And I'll help by saying T.S. Saloik has helped support us for 28 months.
You want to get on this, Beej?
Corrupt Drop Bear's back for 2 months. Thank you for coming back. You have 5 seconds every time.
Thank you, Irindis, for 6 months of sub.
And Papper Slappin' for 66 months.
Is there a Mr. Papper Slappin'?
Herbert Erp has been here 46 months. Is there a Dr. Herbert Erp?
Oh, that's a long joke, and I like it. Ryder of Brohan is here for 14 months. Thank you.
Mitop for 21 months. Thank you as well.
And thank you to Nambra, who's been here for 31 months.
Big ups to W. Livy for 67 months of subs. Thank you so much.
Complexed One for 20 months. You're working towards those complex numbers.
Bannock Spacebar has been here 23 months, close to those 2 years.
I would like to thank the Bulldog Omega, the final Bulldog, for 16 months of subscription goodness.
Malfunct for 67 months. Getting pretty close to being nice.
Lord Brian has been here a full 2 years. Thank you, Lord Brian.
Thank you to Shane Lee ATK for 3 months. Glad to have you here.
And Psychopez for 35 months. A nice divisible by 5 number.
Thank you, Mad Mansk, for your 14 months.
And thank you to Aslan121 for gift subs to Miran Ferenze, the...
Etc.
I knew it. Thank the bits, at least.
Yeah.
The bits.
Thank you so much to Fruan, Safari John, and E Block for those 499 bits. The bits.
All right, I'm going to see if I can step backwards by 1. No, I think it has to be here, isn't it? No, it's just going to be more of that. So we're just going to clear that. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to thank Aslan121 for the 5 subs gifted in this chabble to Miran Ferze, the Kingly Commander, Taro101, Sean the Man 2, and Muffins on a Hill.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's it for subs, Ian.
And that is it for our broadcast day here at Loading Ready Run. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today and every day. And we will see you in a fortnight, ever forward.
Never learning?